Hey, what's up, YouTube? Donovan the Smartphone Guy here to do my first impressions of the Amazfit Pace GPS running watch from Xiaomi. So you can pick this up on anywhere from about $130 to $160. I'll leave some links in the description if you're interested in purchasing this. Also, please subscribe to this channel. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to be doing some comparisons of this watch with the TicWatch 2, a watch I've been using for quite a while now. I've also done some video reviews of the Moto 360 Sport. Primarily, this is a channel for all things tech, but we're going to be doing some watches here as well. So let's go ahead and jump into what this watch is, what it isn't. So this is a watch, first of all, that's built primarily for runners in mind. So here's some things that it can do. So it can track runs, heart rate. So it has a continuous optical heart rate sensor. So for 24-hour heart rate monitoring, we have built-in GPS, music. So I can put up to 2.5 gigs. It actually says 4 gigs, but you really only have 2.5 gigs of music that you can store on there. And then, of course, it is a smartwatch, so you can put some notifications on it as well, or you can get notifications on it as well. It is IP67 certified, so it can fall in the water with no issues. But if you were to go swimming with it, you're going to have some issues. Just, go for a run in the rain, take it in the shower, no problem. Just don't go for a swim with it. The other thing to mention is it does have the long-lasting battery, so they claim 11 days, but it says 36 hours with continuous GPS. You're probably going to get closer, at least in my experience so far. I've used it for 12 hours now, so this is just the first impressions, but if I turn this on, whoops, get out of there. Okay. So you can see that I was obviously on a different screen before we got into this video. Okay, so I've been using this for 12 hours and I've gone through about 11% of the battery. And so with that being said, in my use, it looks like it's probably going to get more like 3 or 4 days of battery life. So just something to keep in mind. So if you see, I swiped left here to get to the activity options. So we have run, we have walk, we have running indoors, we have trail run, and we have our previous activities that we can look at, and then we have some settings. So I'm going to jump into the settings here. So we're going to look at the software first. So we have some lap alerts, heart rate alerts, target time, target distance, some pace alerts, and then we have some options for how many data fields we want. So right now it's set at 4. You can set it to 6 or 4. And so in my experience, I think that 4 is a good amount. If you have 6, you're going to have a crowded screen, and so it's going to be hard to see. So let's take a look at the activities and what it tracks. So it tracks, of course, your heart rate, your distance, things like that. So I've done 2 activities. One was a 1-mile run with a friend at a slow pace. The other one was a 5-mile run on a treadmill. I haven't been able to do an outdoor activity yet because I've had it for 12 hours and it's frigid cold in Michigan right now. The only thing that seemed inaccurate in my experience, is the calorie count. So it says 391 calories for a 5-mile run, which just doesn't seem accurate. Again, I haven't put my weight in here yet, so that could be the reason for it. But everything else seemed dead on in terms of the tracking. So my heart rate seemed about right. So you can see it has like a little heart rate tracking there. And yeah, so anyways, the running aspect so far seems really good. Once I do my full review, I'll obviously go in and do some outdoor runs and see how the GPS works and compare it to my TicWatch 2, which was very accurate in the GPS. So that's if you swipe left, you have the running options. If I swipe from the bottom, I can get my notifications. So you can see I got a Facebook notification from my wife. She mentioned me, and then I did send myself a message so that we could go through and look at that. So let's go ahead and look at that message. So I only have 2 options in dealing with this message. I can block it or I can reply to it. So if I go to that reply, you can see that I have some canned responses. And those are my only options. So I can just use those canned responses and that's it. So the smartwatch, you get notifications, but there's not a whole lot you can do with them. Whereas with the TicWatch 2, you have a ton of options for responding. So if you're interested in that, you can look at my full review of that watch. Again, I'll do a comparison of the two if you're interested. But we'll jump into the watch a little bit more. So that's, we've done left, we've done to the bottom. Let's go ahead and go to the right. So to the right, I have my quote unquote app. So the first app is my activity app. So, well, this is my first day, so it's just going to show what I've done so far today. We have some heart rates. So I've just done 2. This is the option for music. We have some alarms that you can set, and that's just going to vibrate. We have some weather forecasts, so you can see it gives you the 5-day weather forecast. There's a compass, so in just a second that'll turn on. There you go. Okay, so I'm pointed west right now. We have a stopwatch, which is a fully functional stopwatch, so it has laps. And oops, I'm not hitting it. Okay, so I can hit my laps, and then I can stop it. And then I can come down here, and if I hit up here, there it is. Okay, so I can actually go through and look at the laps that I did. So we're going to go ahead and reset that. And then swipe left one more time. So sleep monitoring, I haven't slept yet with the watch, but that's where it would show that. And it does do automatically record your sleep. So it'll just show you what you supposedly, obviously in my full review, I'll go over that a little bit more, but it'll just tell you what kind of sleep you've gotten, whether you've gotten restful sleep or not. So now we'll swipe from the top. So the first one is just today's weather. So it's currently 12 degrees out. Like I said, it's frigid. We got battery life, and it says that we'll get 22 hours of battery life if we're using GPS always on. So then we have silent mode. We can turn off notifications. And then in the more settings, we have Find My Phone. We can connect it to some Bluetooth headphones, which I haven't done yet. So again, in the full review, I'll go over that. We have Wi-Fi. We have the backlight. I currently have it always on because the battery life on this watch is really good. So I think why not have the always on battery or always on backlight? That way I can see my watch at all times. So I can tap to wake it on. So instead of pushing the button, I can tap the screen to turn it on. We have the vibration, so that controls how strong the vibration is, and you probably want this on strong because the vibration's not real powerful if you put it on weak or on middle. Wear habit just tells you whether you want to wear it on the left or the right wrist. We have some software updates, factory reset, power off, about, and report error. So that's the options that we have there. So that pretty much is the only that's it. That's the software on the watch. So it is what it is. We do have some watch faces as well. So on this watch face, you can see I have the date, obviously the time. This is the number of steps. So it automatically defaults to 8,000 being your target step rate. And then up here, this is showing how much activity I've done. So 6.05 miles today so far. And then if I swipe over here, we've already done that. If I hold it down now, I can look through some different watch faces, which are pretty limited, and they're all very sporty minded, with the exception of a couple of them that are more classical watch faces, like these two right here. So this one and this one are more classical watch faces. And then here we have a random little fox. I don't know why. That's it. So those are the watch faces that are available. And yeah, so there you go. I'm going to go ahead and shut that off for now. I'll take a look at, we already looked at the hardware. The other thing I want to mention is the app itself for the watch. And so we'll swipe up. So this is the phone that I'm currently using it with. This is the Alcatel Idol 4. And we have the Amazfit app. And I'll just show you what's available on the app to use. So we have some watch faces that we can look at, some activity syncing. So the activity sync is, you can see here that the only activity app that it works with is Strava at the moment. So I hope that they will expand that, maybe to Google Fit or Runkeeper, some more popular ones. Strava is a very popular one, but that's currently the only option you have, is to sync your data to Strava, which is kind of limiting. So I'm not sure why they picked Strava, but it is what it is. So I can turn the push notifications on or off. In the notification settings, I can choose which apps get notifications to the watch. So one thing I will mention is that with music that is on your phone that you play, like Google Play Music or down here on Spotify, this is interesting. With Google Play Music, I can actually have control. Like, I can use the watch as a remote control for my music, whereas with Spotify, I don't have that option. So that's just going to show you what song is playing on the watch. That's it. You can't control the music. You just have it, and it just tells you what it is. Whereas with Google Play Music, I actually have full options for play, pause, track forward, track backward, and things like that. So that's interesting. So apparently they don't have they need some work on that Spotify aspect. So then I can, choose from all the apps on my phone whether I want to get notifications or not there. So we'll go back and in the system permissions, so go in here. That's basically just to enable the notifications to go to the watch. And then there's help. And then down here we have some applications. So this within this one here, for the sports, I can choose. This is kind of cool. So I mentioned earlier that right now I have it set at 4 things to display while I'm running. And so right now it would show these 4: mileage, elapsed time, pace, and heart rate. But I can choose to have it show me something else. Like let's say I want speed. I can just slide that up. And now whatever the first 4 things are, it will show me. Now, again, you can set that to 6, but when you have it at 6, they're kind of hard to see. So that's with running, and then I can do the same thing for walking. I can adjust what I see when I'm walking. I can adjust what I'm seeing when I'm running indoors. And so for each one, I can adjust whatever I want to see on the main watch face while I'm doing that activity. So that's kind of cool. And then here, this is just going to control the order in which I see those apps when I swipe to the right. So if I go back in here to the watch, have it on, swipe to the right, the first one that shows up will be activity. So let's go over here. So activity, that's the activity one. We have heart rate, music, alarm. You can see it's just going down the list, weather, and I can adjust that again. So like I can come in here, and if I want alarm to be here, so I can adjust those wherever I want them to be, and I can even shut them off if I want to. So that's what that little toggle is there. With the weather, I can adjust whether it shows me 1 day, 5-day forecast, or whatever. So that's it. That's all you get in the app. Not a very well-developed app quite yet. Again, this is a watch that's designed specifically for runners in mind. And it works really well for that. So if you're a runner that just happens to want some notifications, this could be the watch for you. Whereas if you want a more well-developed smartwatch, I would say go with something like the TicWatch 2, and we'll talk about that in the comparison video. But anyways, that is a quick look at the Amazfit GPS running watch, the Amazfit Pace from Xiaomi. Again, if you're interested in purchasing it, there will be some links in the description. I like the watch. I'm a runner, and so therefore this is a great watch for me. There are definitely some limitations, and in my full review, I'll go over some more detailed look at whether the GPS works, the sleeping, how that tracking works as well. But yeah, it's a nice watch for runners, definitely runners in mind. And as always, thanks for watching. I will see you all in the next video. And if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section. Please subscribe to this channel. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.